See, when it comes to the role of technology for a school, the way we think about technology is we have to visualize what careers would look 20 years from now. One thing for sure is technology is going to be a bigger and bigger part of we keep. I mean, I'm sure, but 20 years from now, these children enter the job market, they'll be using tools and applications that we have not even thought of that could happen. I mean, 3D virtualization is of course would be there, much more than that. So our role as schools is to prepare them for the job market of that. So of course, the first level is that technology, if they have access to technology, they should feel comfortable with technology because that's something that they cannot avoid in whatever job market they're going to do. And that is the easy part because you give a cell phone to a 10-year-old, he's going half an hour you ask him any question that okay I want to do this with my phone, do you not do it? He said yeah, click on options, there will be 3 options there, then do that, click there, and then the third option that should be there. And so I can't find it. Okay, you said your phone was Sony, so which model is it? 6. Oh no, then that's an older version. That's how updated that's how quick they have to absorb these things. I mean for example, my generation will be called the email generation. The next generation is definitely the mobile computing, and they are very good on that. So that's the easy part for schools to that children will pick up. And honestly, even though schools have not taught that, children have to bring it out of their own curiosity and interest. Where I did engineering, we didn't even open a computer. We didn't even operate a computer for 4 years in engineering, and 70% of us went to the IT sector. That's how, I mean, so this is not something difficult. The other role of technology is to be whether we have these, scenarios where, oh, this technology is going to replace the teacher, everything's going to be automated, they're going to have a virtual teacher in front of him and they're going to wear these glasses or not, or the teacher is going to talk to the child one-to-one, and based on his feedback, the teacher will adopt his learning style, and then it will just completely personalized learning. I mean, that's kind of, I don't see that happening, at least not in the short term. I don't see it, something that schools should be really thinking on those lines right now. So replacement of the teacher is out of the question. What technology in the day-to-day classroom is going to be, it's just like another teaching aid. So when we had only blackboards, then we started using posters. We have posters, we started using technology just like that. I mean, there are interactive whiteboards which are in front of the classroom, which merge multimedia and a blackboard into one device where it's a 78-inch screen. So that's something which is new. We have the voting machines that one saw in Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and Kaun Banega Crorepati. So now schools are taking tests on those voting machines. So there are a lot of innovations which are happening. Some of them are good and they are really exciting children because after all, a board camp is monotonous. So they are these technologies are getting children more involved in the education system, making learning more interesting for them. But it's for schools to understand about how to use technology efficiently. After all, these children, are with us for limited time during the day. We have to finish a curriculum as well. We have to finish our syllabus as well. There are 8 periods. He has to do sports activities. He has to go for the morning assemblies, his value inculcation. He has to have lunch. He's on a machine at the end of the day. So how much can you actually stuff in? So schools' challenge right now is to balance everything. Then technology becomes expensive as well. Who's going to pay for that technology? If you just increase the school fees by 150 rupees a month and expect parents to pay, that's not fair as well. So I think a lot of technology which were forced down the schools, like laptops and all, have not been successful. There's been a case where a school used laptops and somebody asked, will you be using laptops? I said, no, I will not use laptops. It's not that I'm not IT savvy, it's just that until I'm confident that I can foolproofly manage this, and whatever the child is doing or learning on the laptop, I will not give it to the child. And that's what happened. Children were accessing all kind of information. The school thought that they had this great IT guy who will make firewalls and all. Firewalls, the second day they had hacked it with them, and they're very good with these things. They knew how to access Facebook and all those things, and so then somebody started stealing those laptops. Children can't take care of laptops. It's a very expensive thing to give to a child. They would drop laptops. Then somebody tried giving them iPhones to iPods to children. Then so technology for the sake of technology, or technology as a marketing gimmick, is very bad. I mean, unless people know what they're doing, it's not something. But as a society, as a group, as schools, we have to keep our minds open, see what's happening out there in the market, see what's good. A lot of initiatives are now taking place which are under research and development, where people have actually come to school and said, okay, fine, till now we've imposed technologies on you, You tell us what would you like. So they get it's not easy for teacher to understand. Teacher like, I'm doing fine. I have my notes. My children get to IIT. Every year there's 5% children. So so it's not very easy. But some people are taking that effort, initiative to pick up small instances. Okay, what if ma'am I give you do this for you? She said, really, you can do that? So they go home, they try and do some work on those aspects. So those initiatives are coming up, but at the same time, it's going to be a changing, evolving thing. Schools need to be flexible. Uh, 6 years back, in one of our schools, we started one of the initiatives where they said, you know what, the all this technology in classrooms is actually a marketing game. I said, how is that? I said, because children are, when they go for to see some video of suppose a volcano, so they have to go to the computer lab to see it. I said, yes. So it's a 40-minute period. They make a queue and they walk down to the computer lab. Ma'am, my mouse is not working. He's sir is sitting on my seat. Sir, please tell him to sit on his seat. So by the time they settle down, watch the video, most of the time is just finished there, and then they have to go back to the class in time for the next period as well. So this solution was there where we started. They put computer monitors in the classroom. And they said, okay, fine. Whatever videos children have to watch, or animations, or softwares, all the screens would all be on simultaneously, and the teacher can teach via that, and that's a good thing. So that was good. So instead of a teacher having to draw a volcano, spending 20 minutes drawing a volcano, now suddenly the volcano erupts in the classrooms, and there's children working with their mouths open, and they're, whoa, volcano. This is a volcano. And then she can pause and say, okay, there's a lava, this is a crater, this is different parts of a volcano. So we used that. We went from that option to putting plasma TVs. Plasma TV cost came down. Earlier it was in 4 lakh, now it's 50,000. So we put plasma TVs. Then plasma TVs were outdated. Now we're putting an interactive whiteboard which comes with a projector. So we have, as schools, we have to be receptive. It's not only a marketing thing; it is actually children to benefit from that. But I think it's going to be a constant challenge. There's not going to be any end game and say, okay, fine, we've done it, we've achieved. Now we know how to use technology in classroom and education. We've done it. It's going to be a constant process, and I think it's for schools to keep their ears and eyes open.